Welcome to the epilogue of Shinnok's Uprising. We just defeated Shinnok, and Edenia, Earthrealm, and the Heavens are being restored. Quan Chi was actually beheaded by Hanzo, who actually helped Kwai navigate through the Temple of Elements. And they restored Shinnok's real amulet, not the fake, the real amulet at the Temple of Elements, sealing Shinnok's fate in the Netherrealm on a permanent basis. So, Quan Chi stole the real amulet. He made the fake one for Shinnok, which, as it turned out, for the Warlord, thus his escape. So now he is permanently bound to the Netherrealm, and everything is safe. So let's get this over with. Alright, here's the epilogue. A few days had passed since the end of the Netherrealm War. Kome and Aiko were still in recovery after their psychological battles with Shinnok. Although Liu Kang and others offered them forgiveness and moral support, she was the one who recuperated the fastest. She found herself in a deep conversation involving her dystopian future with Sonya and Johnny, who were unsure what to do with theirs, especially involving the shaded former celebrity who got his death handed to him during Khan's invasion. What should we do with him? Aiko asked as she was trekking with the couple over a red bridge covering a tiny brook. The trip stopped and the women faced him. I'm sure he wouldn't want to go... Johnny just wrinkled his face in contempt. I'm sure he wouldn't want to go back into the heavens again, losing everyone he knows. And losing you. Well, why don't you live with us, amongst the Shaolin? I'm sure no one else would believe in resurrection, those in Hollywood anyway, as it's all like trickery or smokes and mirrors. I mean, Nightwolf left his clan to make a new, better life. So did I. I would, but I probably won't fit in. Unless maybe if I would consider Bollywood or something. I mean, if Bruce Lee can adjust for a short while, so can I. Unless you would want to take a ride on the wild side and join the Special Forces. An epiphany struck Aiko as she had another flashback of the advent involving the Revenants. There were several combat kids bound together by their losses by the two hellspawns that defeated them. Aiko told both Sonya and Johnny they were parents in her devastated timeline, and raised a blonde daughter named Cassie. However, they soon divorced since they were both obsessed over their distant positions in the Special Forces. As for Jax, he had a daughter as well named Jackie, but forgot who the mom was, although there were rumors of him going through a downward spiral from alcoholism on account of her death. She also feared the same might happen to Cage if Cassie happens to be born, and her parents being separated. I think we could work things out. I've seen too many sci-fi movies to know how time travel dictates. When was our daughter born anyway? About 25 years ago, in my time. And Aiko said she came back in time by 16 years. I never knew this could happen for real. Then again, what else has Bill and Ted done? We could figure something out. We? You mean you would give us a try? I don't know. Well, don't you think it's best to know the repercussions ahead of time instead of dreading over them? Yeah. What about Jax? Yeah, what about Jax? I used to fall for him once I lost you. He's been a good help as a moral supporter for me, as was Katana during your absence. Before Khan's invasion, I still don't know why Raiden didn't summon you. Me neither. So, would you join the Special Forces then? Yeah, I guess. Better than being abused and agitated by those greedy corporate bosses of Hollywood. Better than succumbing to being a prisoner in their own devices. Maybe I'll consider Bollywood part-time. For the first time since the end of the first tournament, both Sonia and Johnny looked at each other and smiled. Just then a chirp interrupted their tender moment. Jax! What a surprise! Is Earth safe from that battle with the fallen god? You mean Elder God Shinnok. Yeah. You need to come to headquarters. It's urgent. On my way. Might as well take your chopper again. Sonia and Johnny mentioned Aiko Bai as they climbed into the Black Hawk, the same one after the agent failed to catch up to Jarek. And if I'm correct, this should play the ending here.
Alright, Cyrex. All systems are go. Are you sure you want to go through with this? If this fails, we won't be able to recover your main processor.
We'll lose you for good.
After experiencing the flashbacks in my fight against Shinnok, I realize that my existence is unnecessary unless I can fully recover my human psyche. We must continue with the process.
Alright then. I'll begin the scanning process. Sonia, you hit the regeneration switch on my cue.
All set, Jax. Ready on your go.
Sonia, hit the switch on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, power down now.
Powering down.
I am human. I feel life once again, and I remember everything. Thank you so much. I am forever in your debt. I will not return to my Lin Kuei roots as an assassin. I instead choose to fight at your side for Earth.
Well, that's good news.
Let's get you out of these harnesses. You've been trapped long enough.
You guys saw that, right? One of the best endings Gold has ever had. But nothing could compare to the next one. In the Rebeltadinian throne room, Nightwolf was immersed in a pep talk with the royals, Sindel and Asgarth unveiled on the sudden invasion. I was naive, Nightwolf. There was this new realm called Trish, and the refugees offered me an enchanted opal, thus shattering into a portal from the Netherrealm and allowing Shinnok and his generals to escape. Sindel, you do realize that there are only 6 realms in existence? Yes, I know now. Raiden informed me there were only 6 of them created, ever since the one being was separated as you warred with the Elder Gods. One being? As in the Great Spirit? If you want to put it bluntly. Suddenly their ears perked up as they heard malicious snarls coming from underneath the floor. What's going on down there? The Tarkatan Baraka, reunited in the prison. They seriously jeopardized the mission, always being reckless and bloodthirsty, rushing into the palace without any strategy. They are a very difficult race to maintain. Jade laid out the meat and potatoes and what transpired. Kitana was here, but she met up with her twisted sister Melina. I still can't believe I used to work with that disgusting hybrid. And there's the ending.
Kitana, I want your status. I want to be Princess of Edenia. It is my right!
You have no right! You are not my sister! You were born of Shang Tsung's sorcery for Shao Kahn. What right do you have to the throne of Edenia?
No.
are evil and have no place in this world.
You are right, Kitana. But if I have no right to this realm, then neither will you! You will die, sister. And I will take this realm for myself. Never!
Baraka came to from raising electricity, and as soon as he did, he was reprimanded on him and his kind blowing the cavalry's cover by the monarchs. They wished to ban them to Outworld on a permanent basis, yet still function as scavengers in the barren wastelands. They should be lucky most had survived since they weren't wearing any of the cobalt armor like Kitana and Sonya suggested. Otherwise, Quan Chi wouldn't have been neutralized and throw himself onto the mix utilizing Shinnok's amulet. The Turkans had been warned if they slip up and decide to attack the Edenians, now united in one faction, they'd be slain. Nightwolf mentioned the Turkana invasion in the Wuxi Academy a few years ago, hence enforcing his surveillance over it. As for Melina, though... Kitana stated she finally got rid of her twisted sister again, and she was on her way to make a peace treaty which was abruptly halted by the assault onto the palace, though she wished the deadly drop would be reverted to its original cell instead of being a slaughter pit. Shiva assured the Turkans shall clean up the place before being exiled, while Kitana should only worry about finishing the truce between her kind and their bitter, bloody rivals. So, where is Kitana now? With Liu Kang? No. She actually went to the distant Shokan city of Kueitan, just to make up for the peace treaty that was abruptly halted by Shinnok's invasion. Back at the Wuxi Academy, Kitana stated to Liu she shall settle the score between the warring Shokan centaurs. At times the monk stuck with Kung Lao while he shown Kai around. Turned out the rookie was still alive and carried by one of the wounded Edenians escaping to Earthrealm. Kai stated if it weren't for Kung Lao and that young lady, he probably wouldn't have stayed alive. He owed them both his life, and after saving Kai from certain death, Liu couldn't appreciate them more, especially since Shinnok was about to turn them into undead slaves by leaving the prisoners for dead. But we saw Kai at the prison. So Shang Tsung's not the only enemy that can disguise himself. I guess you can't underestimate an elder god, especially those more powerful than Master Raiden. Lao then saw Kung Jin run up to his beloved distant uncle. He couldn't be happier to see him, though the reunion still didn't assure the distressed combatant. He took him to the massive portal that just opened up. All the monks remained still as they watched the Edenians alive and well march into it. Where are they going? They are returning home. The kid would certainly miss seeing the exotic humanoids of Edenia. He was so fascinated and enthralled with the refugees and wished if he were to grow up and become a member of the White Lotus, he'd explore those other realms and encounter the Edenians once more. Kung Lao was still in a fog until the beastly form of a familiar Shokan broke it. Kung Jin, there is some unfinished business that I must attend to. He actually managed to reach up to a hanging dark emerald cloak in which he covered himself with, then spotted a fallen thick tree branch in which he used as a cane, while being hunched over and moving like a crippled elder. He immersed himself with the Edenians and went through the portal. Inside a distant settlement at the city of Kueitan,
Goro, we are here to offer the Shokan a treaty for truce. The Centaurs have already signed and agreed to all terms. We now await your acceptance.
War has been waged in this realm for too long. We must bring it to an end. I will set aside my differences with the Centaurs, as long as they abide by the treaty. I shall sign your agreement.
Goro, this is a great victory for all of us. Kung Lao, we are at a moment of peace. How could you attack now?
I once thought that an allegiance with an enemy was a lost cause, Princess Kitana.
Was that your attempt at an assassination, Earthman?
No, that was a ceremonial strike of revenge for my ancestor that you killed in Mortal Kombat so many years ago.
And do you wish to continue this battle?
No, I wish only to settle the differences between us.
Your ancestor was a great man, and a brave and noble warrior. You should be proud of his accomplishments. If he won, perhaps it would be my own son, seeking to settle differences with him.
That was the best ending ever. Hands down. This is one of the reasons I love MK4 Gold. Anyway, at the Lin Kuei headquarters, Sub-Zero was out defending Edenia. Smoke in his gray ninja attire and intact base confessed he had disobeyed orders protecting the base. He recalled the brutal scrimmages with Oniro. He then decided to venture to the Appalachian Mountains, and sure enough, he had exactly what he had suspected, the Sacred Dragon Medallion. He slowly took it out of the ancient engraving. Kwai's eyes went as wide as he remembered those fatal past combats. He should have known, since the former deadly Grandmaster had the abilities to enhance his moves and transform into such murderous creatures. With it, the user can increase his or her own fighting prowess. Though it required a lot of discipline and is often given to the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, since ages before the one that served Quan Chi when Bi-Han was around. It was a relic so ancient that it had never been around before the Great Kung Lao's time, to which Kwai and Smoke read about. Smoke gladly gave it to the proud leader, in which he put on almost immediately. He grew more confidently he shall be more heat-resistant, completely contrary to his near-death experience in Shang Tsung's smoldering fissure. As of now, and as the new official Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, we shall depart to Arctica. A day later, Kwai visited the Order of Light and broke the news. Aiko was saddened, though the Cryomancer promised he would visit. Maybe he'd be more immune to the intense heat with a medallion in hand. Hanzo remained beside him. Our battle is finished. You are now free from my curse. He removed his vial. Beneath the mask, though, revealed a fleshed face complete with a thin black beard, just like an MK10. Live on, Lin Kuei warrior. They bowed to each other. Aiko cheered for Kwai to drop them a line. Smoke and Sub-Zero would leave to the Northern Pole via portal, courtesy of Raiden, for a fresh though frigid start. It was unfortunate that Kitana received word that the Saurians had to fight themselves, but it was for the best, since many Satirans still support her benevolent cause. It wasn't long that during the uproar, Sizoth was killed, actually. She was astonished the male Saurian emerged from his invincibility only to have himself blend into his surroundings via his clad of rainbow colors. The mole chameleon shone his true colors. A female raptor named Chameleon explained everything. Still wanted to preserve their race with better methods in survival instead of constantly feasting on flesh and wreaking havoc by their malicious blood code. Kitana then remembered her last pep talk. It was with Liu Kang, but I made some changes in Liu Kang's ending. With Shinnok's destruction, you not only saved the Earth, but you have also saved my own realm, and for that, I can never repay you. Knowing that you survived was all that I needed. Liu Kang, this is hard for me to say, but will you be willing to be the heir to my realm, to serve at my side as King of Edenia? He can't accept that. He still needs to stay on Earth and protect it. The good news, he's no longer cursed and doesn't have the title, but he still has the responsibility. Besides, the immortality belongs to the gods now. You mean Elder God? Well, yeah, to Fusion anyway. But Raiden he accepted his place as an Elder God, Aiko. He will now take Fusion's place. He has more power than ever before! This is so great! Kung Lao caught up to the trio. Aiko, what that means is Raiden has taken Fusion's place as an Elder God. He will not watch over Earthrealm anymore. He wouldn't... What? With a distant thunderclap, Kitana knew that he was here. Near the crater Fusion made, the heroes consisting of these other guys gathered for Raiden's departing ceremony. The sun began to set atop of the Bayonhar mountain range, soon after Sonya and Johnny immersed with Jax and the Special Forces. Raiden gave them the scoop of his farewell via their wrist communicators, and even they grew as emotional as the rest of the team. So, it is true then. You became an Elder God, and you're leaving us? She wouldn't keep her tears back, neither would Jin. So it is, Aiko. Master, Earthrealm and we would never be the same without you. You have been like a father to all of us. Even to me, my people, to Kung Lao. Cowboy sulked. I guess you do deserve a well-earned break. We will all miss you. Liu Kang was right. Indeed he was, Kitana. Please take care of him. And Edenia. Face the group. I must leave now. My kid brother Fusion shall take my place as the guardian of Earth. I love you all, my fine warriors. Do not grieve for me, and remember me when you make the usual offerings at the sacred dragon grotto. I shall return to you all someday. I must depart. But... It was Jin. Oh, I bet you want one last word from Raiden, don't you, Kung Jin? Raiden faced a little tight. Oh, of course. There's nothing to be scared of. It's all right. Kung Jin, do you promise to be a strong warrior like your uncle? Master, does that mean I will never see you again? Damn. No, Liu Kang. I'll still always be here, if you should ever need me again. He spoke one last farewell as he ascended. While he grew higher, his translucent body started to fade away. All the monks followed Jin's grief. Liger ran to the front of the park as she waved frantically while she cried sayonara to the thunder god that gave tutelage to the best fighters. She was so emotional her legs buckled as she did a kowtow, when in reality it was just to hide her tears. She was lucky she wouldn't have to dread over her astrophobia anymore, ever since, Fusion. Having to lose Raiden and be replaced by Fusion so suddenly, she wasn't sure if Earthrealm would be prepared for another future threat. She wondered if Raiden's leave was based on what happened to his corrupt form in her dystopian future, to which Lau and Nightwolf assured it wasn't. Moments later, Lou followed Aiko's kowtow. The group grieved for Raiden's departure for the next couple hours, when the moon rose, and Kiba howled in silence, or sadness. Quietly Yang, Antarctica, and soon Queen Sindel looked out the tall windows from her throne, turned up toward that same full moon as the Thunder God himself was still looking down from the peaceful heavens. She walked to the ornamental outlook and whispered over the steep cliffs and deep valleys. Godspeed, Thunder God. Godspeed. Of course, this is... there's songs for that. Of course, this was a collab of most of the good endings of MK4 and Gold, with some altercations to fit in with story, such as Luke's, Katana's, Reptiles has been omitted. He was slain by Chameleon, who made an astonishing appearance. Kung Lao's, which is my all-time favorite, and Cyrax's. Johnny's has also been removed as it wasn't all that great. Which honestly, it isn't. So glad to be done with this cluster mug, and I can't thank the people enough and material that inspired me to make it all possible. Whether it be Ferocious Wraith and his awesome Let's Play of Shaolin Monks, so too with his support during my nasty fallouts in the past until I got to his. There's 80s fans since day one, for a good friend too, even inspiring me with her artworks of Ico, to the usual inspirations of True Underdog, MK Crypt, The Fourth Snake, 616, MK Temple, MK Attic, and the most recent Tabmouth 99, which was recent at the time. I should be taking a long hiatus before I should get to work on Deadly Alliance aka Vengeance, which is the working title for the 5th book. So see you all next time. Until then, this is the Ekron Writer signing out. I can't wait to start on Deadly Alliance aka Mortal Kombat Vengeance. See you then.